Spotify, Google Play. I want to say peace to you, and we do appreciate it. Let's talk about Josh Gordon, man. We got to talk about this, man. This is a we've been going back and forth talking about mental health, and for some reason that has been like one of the main things. And you even talked about, is mental health going to be like the new thing, like the new fad, even though we know it's a serious problem. We're not trying to take away from that. Well, Josh Gordon, we know, a former Cleveland Brown, went over to the New England Patriots, had a history, if you don't know, substance abuse problems and everything like that. Well, he now pretty much is stepping away from football, to focus on his mental health. I'm gonna read what he said right here, and then I'll give it to SamAnt. He said, "I take my mental health very seriously at this point. To ensure I remain able to perform at the highest level, I have recently felt like I could have a better grasp on things mentally. With that said, I will be stepping away from the football field for a bit to focus on my mental health. I would like to thank Coach Belichick, Mr. Kraft, as well as countless others within the organization for their continued support. I want to thank my fans for their support, as well as I continue to go down the path to getting back to 100%. SamAnt, could you give us a little bit more on the history of Josh Gordon, so we can get a better context on this?
Absolutely. So for those of you who watch football and follow football, we all know Josh Gordon. He was the amazing talent coming out of Baylor, and then he went into the Cleveland Browns, had his history with drug abuse. I wasn't really aware of how severe it was, so I really wanted to look it up and dive into it. And here's what I found, man. So in middle school, Gordon told GQ's Clay Skipper he first started self-medicating with Xanax, marijuana, and codeine in middle school. He said his initial usage stemmed from social awkwardness, anxiety, feelings of inadequacy, and adolescent trauma-based fear. According to Gordon, the drug helped numb those nerves so he could just function every day. When he was in 7th grade, Gordon said he took a whole bar of Xanax and ended up nodding off and drooling in class in the 7th grade. Now let's move on to his time at Baylor. Now, he was obviously recruited at Baylor when he was 17 years old. Was under a lot of stipulations. As a sophomore, Gordon was arrested mid-season when police found him and teammate asleep in a car in a drive-through lane of Taco Bell at 2 a.m. Officers found multiple bags of marijuana in the car, and both players was charged with misdemeanor marijuana possession. At that time, I mean, that's what I thought it was, a bunch of marijuana, things like that.
Right.
In my opinion, those things can be looked over, but when you start having the history that he had, it started getting kind of even worse. So Gordon told Uninterrupted in 2017 that Coach Baylor helped him cheat drug tests. Gordon said the coach instructed him to take these bottles to detox. Wow. So let me see. I want to read some other things because I had some other things. Okay, so Gordon transferred to Utah where he tried cocaine. This was in 2011 for the first time. He told SI. He also began taking Adderall daily. After failing another drug test, he returned home to Houston, where he said he began selling marijuana again to support his family. Gordon took a snap at Utah instead of opting for the NFL supplemental draft in 2012. So he was done with that. Just the list goes on. And then obviously his pregame ritual, once he was taken in by the Cleveland Browns in 2012, he told GQ he had a pregame ritual where he would take bong rips or shots of Grand Marnier or whiskey before kickoff. I mean, and the list goes on and on. He was suspended 2 games in 2013 for violating the NFL substance abuse policy. In 2014, prior to the start of the 2014 season, he was arrested for DUI in Raleigh, North Carolina. According to police, he was pulled over before 3 a.m. for driving 50 miles per hour in a 35-mile-per-hour zone. His blood alcohol level was 0.09, 1 point over the legal limit. 2015, he was suspended for another violation of alcohol. 2016, he was reinstated but denied by the league for another failed drug test. So, I mean, this is something that he's now, I believe, 27 years old, if I'm not mistaken. April 13th, 1991, he was born. So he's been dealing with issues, you figure, since he was 12 years old.
Yeah.
This is deeper than rap. This is deeper than football. He's an incredible talent. He was kicking ass out there for the Patriots after being off the field for years and years and years and dealing with what he's dealing with. Probably could have been one of the greatest. He reminded me of T.O. It was a dangerous combination of T.O. and Randy Moss. He had that kind of talent.
Okay.
And it looks like he was just really torn up. But what's your thoughts on this, man?
My thoughts are, I think it's a good move, and I didn't know he had that extensive of a history, but it's actually a great move for him now to step away. Right now, forget about football and get yourself together. Maybe there's a chance of him coming back. We've seen players do it. Michael Vick, after being in prison, he came back relatively full strength. It can happen, but he got to get that under control. There's also, like you said, been a lot of incidents of him, being at practice during the games, like you said, drinking before the games and things like that. When it gets to that point when you can't even control when you do it, like you're doing it before a game and stuff like that, and you would think that he would have, Ben got this, taken care of, or the NFL would have some type of treatment program for this. I was just watching a documentary, I think on Vice, where it was called, I think, Painkillers in the NFL. And it's a lot of NFL players who talked about, that they would get that for, for pain. And a lot of players now are being addicted to that even after the NFL. So they're looking for ways to get that. So, yeah, it's a problem. We talk about the Adderall, and that's even in the colleges, man. People know the colleges. That's, one of the number one drugs that people use in college, stay awake, the workload, So drugs, as we know, is a big problem across any industry in America, even in the NFL. So I'm happy now, to be real honest, that he's getting help now, rather than them saying, oh, this guy, either gets locked up for doing something crazy or killed, forget the money, forget, the NFL. He has to get help. Even the Patriots, they're pretty supportive, of this, from seems like the ownership all the way down to the coaches and everything. So that's good. Now I even read the statement. They say, we support Josh Gordon on his continued efforts to focus on his health. His attempt to do so is a private, personal matter, and we will intend to respect it. That comes down from the Patriots, definitely.
Patriots hypocrites. The Cleveland Browns are hypocrites. The Baylor's a hypocrite. I don't know what the logo is down in Baylor in Texas. They're all hypocrites, and I'm gonna tell you why. They seen the value that he was going to do for their business. They seen this kid as a commodity. When you have issues like this in the 7th fucking grade, they know about it. When you have a recruitment system as extensive as these D1 schools do, you knew about this issue before he got signed to that school. When you got the FBI kind of investigation that the NFL does for recruitment of their employees going into that brand, they knew about this going into that. And they threw it aside because they seen the value. You got T.O. strength, T.O. speed, and Randy Moss hands. Oh, yeah, he's going here. We're going to get him. I don't care if he got the 30 failed drugs, had supplemental draft. Yeah, we're going to pick him up. Absolutely. He can work here. Great slave to have. Let's have him work. And ignore a problem. And then he fails a drug test. And then you know what you do? You disseminate it to all the media outlets so that they could steer a narrative however they want. You keep blind the real problems that this kid has had for years and years and years and years and years. So they could say, oh, yeah, he's stupid. He's a knucklehead. He doesn't know what to do with his money. This is how they are. This and that and the third. And then he does it again. Oh, he'll see how dumb he is. And now it's to the point where he's at absolute rock bottom. And, oh, now we want to help him. Now, no, you don't. Don't lie. You should have been helped him.
Yeah, I don't want to, first and foremost, there's obviously, and he's taking responsibility for it. It's a responsibility on him as well. But, you read a report earlier about coaches helping him pass tests. You would think that they will all, even in the college level or even high school, whenever they will offer him, like, look, man, you got to get some help. It's mandatory that you go to rehab or you can't play football no more. Or while you're in football, you got to do this rehab. Something on no level, not even the NFL, that people just continue, again, to wash it under the rug. It also reminds me of Leo Cohen, where he said on the Breakfast Club, it didn't matter if they had issues. And I can make money off of, I don't care what they're doing. I can make money off them, or whatever they're promoting. I don't care. It's about making money. It's the bottom line. I got to feed my family. Same thing. That's the way the NFL is set up. That's the way the college sports, especially football, is set up, man. Is workhorses out there, no matter what, you're worth money, you're expendable, it ain't about what you can do. It ain't about off the field. It's about on the field. As long as you can make them money and continue to score points and entertain people, you're good. They don't really care about your off the field issues. So, that's an interesting perspective that you do say, but that's real.
It's definitely real. And like you alluded to, and you gave the comparison to Leo Cohen, you can really care about these people that you have signed and really genuinely care about their well-being outside of the monetary value that they bring you. If they're sitting here doing dumb shit and you're employed by them, put them on the sideline for a while. You know what I mean? Make them humble, but let them know you still care. Let them know you seek help as you sit there, you be humble, and then you give them another opportunity. Now, if they mess with that opportunity, yeah, they have to go. But you give them that opportunity to let them know that you care about what they brought to your brand, what you care about your business. This is how a successful business is ran.
Facts.
You got to care about the people that help you build it. You got to care about your employees.
Yeah.
And if you let them, if you just make money off them and just run them, and then throw them away the second they're expendable, how do you expect anybody to appreciate it? And then the monsters that they are, now you have a media and mass medias being able to stare a narrative of the very employees that you throw away without them even being able to have proper context to the real story. It's fucked up, man.
Yeah, man, definitely, man. But yeah, man, that's another segment of the Uncensored Truth podcast, the most underrated, underappreciated podcast in the world. We do appreciate each and every one that takes their time out to listen to this podcast or whatever.
It's only one, Moz.